This video is on authentication protocols. If you connect to access point without authenticating, you can't send data unless authentication is done. This is where EAP comes to play, Extensible Authentication Protocol. It provides authentication framework for commonly used protected network access technologies such as IEEE 802.1x based wireless access and IEEE 802.1x based wired access. Do note, EAP does not involve authentication method. It specifies a set of standard functions that authentication methods can employ to authenticate users. EAP is just the framework, and it has various authentication methods available. WPA, WPA2, and 3 supports numerous EAP methods and are used to implement EAP-based authentication with 802.1x. Wireless LAN controller acts as EAP intermediary between the client and the authentication server, and this server is usually the radius. Remote Authentication Dial-in User Service is a networking protocol that provides centralized authentication, authorization, and accounting management (AAA) for users who connect and use a network service. There's a term called federation, which refers to a collection of organizations, institutions, or service providers who decide to create relationships of trust with each other in order to exchange information about identity of users through a network of interconnected radius server. The purpose is to allow users who belong in certain organization to be able to authenticate with the credentials of other organizations that are part of joint federation. Once again, EAP authentication framework has various authentication methods available, with most of them being based on TLS due to security requirements. First, we have EAP-TLS. This protocol method uses TLS public key infrastructure certificate authentication mechanism to offer mutual authentication of the supplicant to the authentication server and vice versa. It requires that both the supplicant and the authentication server be issued a digital certificate signed by a certificate authority that they both trust. Then we have protected EAP, PEAP. Only the authentication server needs a certificate in this one. This lessens the admin overhead of deploying and will create an encrypted TLS tunnel between the supplicant and the authentication server. After establishing the tunnel, PEAP utilizes one of the following EAP authentication inner methods to authenticate the supplicant over the outer PEAP-TLS tunnel. EAP-FAST is an alternative to PEAP to enable more rapid re-authentication and support for high-speed wireless roaming. Just like PEAP, it establishes a TLS outer tunnel and then sends the client authentication credentials across that outer TLS tunnel. EAP-FAST can also re-authenticate quicker by employing a protected access credentials. Then we have EAP-TTLS. Functionality is comparable to PEAP, but it is not as extensively supported. PEAP supports EAP inner authentication methods, while EAP-TTLS can support additional inner methods such as challenge handshake authentication protocol.